This is 1480 KRAE Cheyenne.
Also being heard on translator K266CC Cheyenne at 101.1 FM.
It's time for Wyoming Sports Talk today on KRAE. Here are your hosts, Nick and Larry Proetti.
Welcome to Wyoming Sports Talk today as we are back on this Monday, and Wyoming Sports Talk today is being brought to you by Mondello's Pizzeria at 1507 Stillwater Avenue, Suite D in the Greenway Commons, open 7 days a week. Also by First Tier Bank. Oh, by the way, Mondello's Pizzeria telephone number for takeout, 778-6068. First Tier Bank is at 1508 Stillwater Avenue, right across the street, 632-3500, open Monday through Friday. Open Monday through Friday is Lennox Auto Body, along with the Auto Glass and Detail Center at 634-6608. B&B Appliance and TV can be found at 714 Central Avenue, 638-6468. Medicap Pharmacy for all your pharmaceutical needs. If you're already in the system, you just call the automated service, 635-3712, or come on by Monday through Saturday inside or use the convenient drive-through next door to Texas Roadhouse on Bluegrass Circle. Chick-fil-A at Windmill and Del Range, right across from Powers Field and Menards, open Monday through Saturday from 7 in the morning till 10 p.m. for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Remember, they offer their mobile curbside, 2 convenient drive-thrus, and they also have their catering at CheyenneChicken.com. Platte Valley Bank has 2 banking locations for you, open Monday through Friday. Catch Platte Valley Bank on Vandehigh or at their east side location at the corner of College and Pershing. Platte Valley Bank, 778-0021. Key of Cheyenne can be found on Nation Way. Key of Cheyenne, which, again, is online, keyofcheyenne.com, or, again, kick a few tires over on Nation Way. The 21s are on the lot right now, so check out what AJ and the crew has for you. Family-owned, family-operated Key of Cheyenne, 775-0123. And our scoreboard is being brought to you by Taco John's of Cheyenne. 5 locations, but first, again, on the phone app, you can use that for delivery or drop on by the 5 locales. Again, use the convenient drive-ups over on the South Greeley Highway, Cary Avenue, Yellowstone Road, Del Range and Ridge, and Persian and Ridge, your 5 locations for West Mex cuisine from Taco John's of Cheyenne. Let's go to Nick first and his scoreboard for today.
We'll quickly recap from this past weekend with LCCC men's and women's basketball. We'll talk more in detail, at least throughout today's show. But a season split, or at least a split so far here for both men and women for LCCC. Again, 2 losses against McCook on Friday night. Saturday afternoon, LCCC, both men and women, got their first victories here of 2021 over North Platte. So congratulations to interim head coach Danielle Ronaldo, her first ever head coaching at least victory, and same with interim head coach Dwayne Salisbury, his first ever head coaching victory as well too. So again, we'll get into more detail about that. Coming up tomorrow here on 1480 KRAE, we'll have more LCCC basketball live from Sterling, Colorado, as we'll head down to Northeastern Junior College to see the Plains women and Plains men of NJC. LCCC on the road again at I want to say Otero, but again at NJC. So that game tomorrow, 5:30 start time for the women, 7:30 start time, tentative start time for the men. 1480 AM, 101.1 FM, 1480KRAE.com is how you hear this contest, and video live streaming on Periscope via Twitter at Nick Wild Sports and the 1480 KRAE YouTube channel. Again, these are all tentative. Again, with COVID-19, we are, as of right now, plan to at least go down to Sterling, but anything and everything can change. So again, look forward to that tomorrow, and also to our social medias if anything does change.
We take a look at professional basketball on tap for tonight. It will be the Pistons playing host to the 76ers. That will be in the Little Caesars Arena. At the Bankers Life Fieldhouse in Indianapolis, the Pacers and the Raptors. Also on tap will be the Heat and the Nets. That will be in the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. Lakers and the Cavaliers in the Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse in Cleveland. The Nuggets on the road at American Airlines Center in Dallas. They will face the Mavericks. Celtics and the Bulls in the United Center. Spurs, Pelicans in the Smoothie King Center in New Orleans. Timberwolves and the Warriors will be in the Chase Center in San Francisco. Also on tap from the Moda Center, Trailblazers will have a home date with the OKC Thunder, already postponed. And obviously, it sounds like the Memphis Grizzlies are the team that's having a lot of problems with the COVID situation. The Grizz and the Sacramento Tomato Kings, that also has been postponed. It was postponed last night. So, again, postponed, not canceled, so they'll try to get that thing made up.
Do want to mention also, too, on my end, Phil, to mention that there's one lone game in NHL up in Canada, at least in Vancouver. Vancouver Canucks hosting the Ottawa Senators. 8 p.m. is the start time for that one at the Rogers Arena. So, again, that's the lone NHL contest for tonight.
Our scoreboard has been brought to you by Taco John's of Cheyenne.
With all this newfound time at home, it's good to get an easy win for the whole family. So this month, we're turning Taco Tuesday into Taco Tuesday. Get our 6-pack and a pound. That's 6 savory beef tacos and a pound of crispy potato olays for $2 off any day of the week. Taco John's. See you in the drive-thru.
Drive-thru still open for all your family's favorites with easy ordering on the app and delivery at participating locations with the Taco John's app.
You're listening to Cheyenne's new Sports Talk Authority. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today on AM 1480 KRAE.
Sports Talk today. On the program a little later on, we'll be hearing comments from Jeff Linder as the Wyoming Cowboys had a pretty successful duo against the
close
Nevada
calls.
Wolfpack.
Close calls against Nevada.
Matter of fact, I was just reading here. I have it in my hands, as we'll get to Linder here in just a little bit. University of Wyoming freshman guard Marcus Williams was named Mountain West Player of the Week today. It's first honor of his career. And he is the second Cowboy to earn the award after Kenny Foster was named Player of the Week back in December. Williams is the first freshman to be named Mountain West Player of the Week this season. So, anyway, he had a big couple of games for the Pokes. You want to go high school first?
Let's go to high school, even though, again, we did not cover. And again, for us,
it's going to be a while.
It's going to be a while.
Actually, me.
Well, again, either way, we'll get to that. But, again, high school-wise, yes, it'll be a while since high school will be back here on 1480 KRAE again with the LCCC schedule of how jam-packed it is. Again, they're fitting a lot of games in about 2.5 months' time. So usually we're adjusted to having this kind of a season for about 5 months instead. So, but high school-wise, again, for the past weekend, you had the Central contest, Central at South. You could talk about that.
On Wednesday, the double dip. And matter of fact, for the Lady Fighting Bison, they gave the Lady Indians quite the scare. If they wouldn't have fallen apart over the last 2 minutes and 40 seconds, they should have came away. They should have won that contest.
And
they were the better team on the floor that night.
And the Lady Fighting Bison, I gave them a fighter's chance in that contest against Cheyenne Central. Again, the Lady Indians, they've struggled a lot. And, again, it's a team that, it has a number 5 in front of their name on the polls. Without seeing the polls after this at least after this weekend, or at least when they get tabulated here in the next couple of days, the Lady Indians right now, it's a team that out of this Eastern Conference, I don't see them making the state tournament.
I don't either. And again, you're in quadrant play right now. And matter of fact, South on Friday, they dropped a close one to East as well. So, I mean, they're competitive.
They're competitive. Where we talked about the Lady Fighting Bison, where it's a team that, again, have a lot of seniors, at least for head coach Chad DeBryan. They still make a lot of mistakes, so a lot of mental mistakes. Again, the game that we last saw there at Cheyenne South, again, it's a Lady Fighting Bison team that still is a work in progress this season. But, again, for Chad DeBryan and his squad, got to feel a little confident that you are – in close games with Cheyenne.
Yeah, and they made a lot of mistakes at the end. Matter of fact, Bailey Delbridge kind of took over, and it was just a one-man wrecking crew in the backcourt.
As she's going to be for Cheyenne Central. Again, that's the issue right now for head coach Glenn Kirkbride is if Delbridge runs into any foul difficulty or, again, hopefully not, she does not get on that COVID-19 restriction kind of list or anything at all. If she's unable to play for Cheyenne Central, it is that situation where, when we talk about LCCC women's basketball, who's gonna pick up that slack? Right. Who's gonna pick up that where, again, Bailey Delbridge is that go-to person on the floor right now for Cheyenne Central?
Well, and the good news going back to South, Renda Tovar, who did not play against Cheyenne Central, was back in action. She had a knee injury that she was resting up, so she's back for South. So they have all their bullets in their gun right now. Central's got some problems. I don't know if they can shore it up or not. The young kids that come off the bench, Madison Bailey, along with Mia Garrick, also Brogan Allen, just to mention those three. They do add some depth to the team, but again, they're still struggling from the outside, and they're right now winning by the skin of their teeth. Yeah, and again, I think when they play East,
when you
problems.
When you play East, and then the other team that's going to give them problems, without a doubt, is Thunder Basin. But on the Eastern Conference, I think this is where Cheyenne Central gets very fortunate, because looking at the standings after this past weekend, we'll start with the Class 4A Northeast. We'll focus on the Eastern Conference as we are in conference play now. But Thunder Basin right now 9-1 overall, 2-0 in their quadrant. Campbell County's right behind them at 4-5, but they are 2-0 in their quadrant as well. Sheridan 3-6, 0-2. Kelly Walsh, the Lady Trojans, they're 1-8 and 0-2. In the Southeast quadrant, Cheyenne East atop 7-1. They are 1-0 in their quadrant plays. Cheyenne Central 6-2, 1-0. Again, both of those wins for East and Central, again, coming against Cheyenne South. Laramie, they're 5-3, have not played in the quadrant as of yet. Again, they got hit, both the boys and girls, with COVID-19 protocol. So, again, their games that were supposed to be played, especially against Cheyenne Central, have been not canceled, but at least postponed to a later date, again, sometime in February. Same with Cheyenne East. And then Cheyenne South, they're at the bottom right now in the Southeast quadrant. They're at 4-4 overall, 0-2 in quadrant play. So I think with Cheyenne Central, that 6-2 is kind of a false 6-2, where this team, without a doubt, is very fortunate. They're having great opportunities, and again, taking advantage of it, but without a doubt, the play that's on the court right now, they're not even sniffing right now a state championship berth.
Well, to quote the song title from Aerosmith, they've been living on the edge.
Yeah.
And when you start playing the better teams, like they already played Thunder Basin, they got the snot kicked out of them.
Yeah, they got a rude awakening on that, and again, up at Thunder.
And again, when you're going to play East, and again, East has outside shooters. I mean, Bowden Lilliadall, she popped in, 25? You've got the Schlabs youngster that is doing well. So, again, they've got some weapons over at Cheyenne East for Coach Westling. So, again, I wouldn't turn my back on the Lady Thunderbirds. They may not be big.
That was a question mark team due to the fact that they lost a lot of senior leadership. Yeah. Again, a lot of those players playing for a national-ranked Western Nebraska team and the JUCO side of things. But Cheyenne East was definitely that question mark team of what are they going to be, who is going to step up and kind of take over that, Kai Buell role where she was the leader last year in that central piece for. And
they've had somebody every game step up. So
for Coach Westling, that's excellent news. And again, for his Lady T-Birds, they're kind of in the driver's seat, so to speak, especially here in this quadrant where I don't think Cheyenne Central, again, you're looking at the overall record. Central is your best opportunity to at least compete against Cheyenne East, but even then, I don't think that Cheyenne East.
And like you said, their record,
Cheyenne Central,
their record is a very nervous record right now.
Moving over the guys' side.
Well, I was going to say, and there was no games on Saturday. Can you believe that? Because of the situation in Laramie. Which basically East and Laramie was wiped out.
Yeah.
So it's kind of weird. You look at Saturday's box scores, and usually you'll see Central, South, or East in there, and nobody played on Saturday.
Yeah. So moving over to the boys' side, again, going back to Wednesday's contest, Central taking on Cheyenne South. No surprise there. No surprise that the Indians were going to take care of business against the Fighting Bison. What more can you say against Central having to rebound after the pass? What happened up there in Thunder Basin. South, again, that's a young team. It's going to develop under Jeff Bailey, but don't anticipate that this season they're really going to make a big splash.
And I was talking to a friend of mine today as we were having morning coffee, and this is what I ascertain about Cheyenne Central. It's a team that's unselfish.
Almost a little too unselfish.
Exactly. There you go. You hit it exactly on the head. It's like Lawson Lovering has an easy, fade away from the baseline.
Yeah.
But he'll pass it off to Talich. So Talich could take the long-range shot. Or Talich could take a dribble drive inside, and instead of doing that, he'll find Storbo.
Storbo seems like that centerpiece, though, of who's going to get the ball, at least the touch, at least most of those Indians is going to be Storbo on the inside. We've seen that play many a time using his size.
But I'm saying is, these guys, instead of just taking it to the hole, they pass it off. They are unselfish.
And again,
they want to make sure everybody touches it.
And we've seen many games with Cheyenne Central so far this season where, they've had great looks, open opportunities, but for whatever reason they pass up that chance and try to go and be unselfish where, not saying that that's what cost them in that Thunder Basin loss up there in Gillette, but you kind of wonder if that was the reason or that is that Achilles heel and something that head coach Tag Lane's got to tell his guys, hey, when you got that open shot, you take it. Just don't even hesitate. You take it.
And again, same with Cade Burns. Burns handles the basketball a lot. He gets a lot of, opportunities, but he doesn't cash in on it.
No.
Matter of fact, he had a slam dunk where he hesitated and the ball kicked out.
Yeah. I think that was that Scottsbluff contest that we saw where, again, almost a little too showboaty on that one. It cost him, and again, minus the 2 points.
And again, the bunnies that he's missing as well, too, from inside. So
this is a Central team that where
they're good. They're really good.
They're really good, but they are not that superhuman team that we thought going into the season coming off of last year where, hey, they're now a year older, year wiser. Look out, this is a team that legitimately can just go undefeated and run the table all the way to the state championship. This is a team right now for Cheyenne Central. They can still absolutely make it to that championship game, but you kind of pause and say, could Thunder Basin expose them? Could Cheyenne, again, looking forward to the Cheyenne East Central matchup where could the Thunderbirds expose this team?
You know what? And the Thunderbirds, again, are not the tallest team. Rusty
They're
Horseland
talented, though.
Does not have the tallest team, but they are playing a very good concept of team basketball.
Yeah.
Obviously, Graydon Beulah stepped up as the go-to guy.
Oh, yeah.
Garrett Schlabs has been very good in the backcourt. Also, too, Jake Rail.
Mm-hmm.
So, again, they are the epitome of a good team. And again, what they've basically said, okay, Graydon, we want you to pop in 20-plus points. Jake, Garrett, we need you to get into double figures, and we're going to be in good shape.
Yeah.
So, and again, everybody that starts for them touches the basketball, has an opportunity. It's not like it's focused on one guy. But again, their go-to guy right now is Graydon Beulah. Central, we don't know who the go-to guy is. Everybody's a go-to.
It's pick your poison on who's going to be the go-to guy at the night. Looking at Friday, though, Cheyenne East taking on South. East wins that game handily by 20 points, putting up 81 points. Again, talk about the talent level where, again, they scored the most points this past weekend, at least in Class 4A. So East versus Central, that's going to be a fun one where you kind of handed the opportunity. You kind of just said, hey, Central, you're going to win this contest. Now you kind of pause and go, East could easily pull off the kind of quote-unquote upset against the Central High Indians.
I would say easily. It would be.
I think they have a good shot.
I think they have a shot. It would be a battle. It would be a battle, and again,
well, it's going to be a battle like it's been in previous years. Where,
but Central
I thought
themselves.
This year again with the graduating talent, again losing the McCords and all that talent that they lost last season. That here we go, Cheyenne East again. Same with the girls. I thought the same thing with the boys. That going to be a trend downward. That don't expect high expectations for Coach Rusty Horsley's team, but they're going to compete. But it's not going to be at the caliber where they've been in the previous seasons. I thought that it was going to be a little bit trend downward. Now looking at where we're at with Central, with Cheyenne East, this contest where I thought Central was going to just blow East out of the water, now you pause and go, East has a great shot of winning this game.
Well, yeah, and again too, but you said the key word, though, Nick. You said, with Oliver 2 years ago, Oliver was the main guy.
Yeah.
With Xavier McCord and Demetrius McCord. Last year, I think X was the man. Most of the time, and again, you had all the other valuable pieces around him, and East could have been somebody that was going to make some noise at the state tournament. There's no doubt about it. This year, like I said, Graydon Buell has stepped up as the guy who's got the hot hand right now.
Yeah.
But again, this is a team that is using the unselfish word again. They're very unselfish, and they don't do it just to make sure you get the ball. They spot you open, they're going to fire you.
Yeah.
So I think, and Rusty Horsley's been through the wars for many years, so he knows exactly what it takes.
And there's going to be a lot of wars upcoming as now we get into the Eastern Conference play for Cheyenne East, Central, and South, where compared to the girls, the boys are a lot more, at least top-heavy here in the Eastern Conference of Class 4A. Looking at the Northeast quadrant, Sheridan leads there, 8-1 overall. They are undefeated at 2-0 in their quadrant play. Thunder Basin's right behind them at 7-3, 1-1 in quadrant play. Campbell County 6-3, they're 1-1, and then Kelly Walsh at the bottom at 2-7 overall. They are 0-2 in quadrant play. In the Southeast, Cheyenne East undefeated, 9-0. They are 1-0 in quadrant play. They are the only team in Class 4A that is undefeated, again, overall at 9-0. Central, they're 8-1, 1-0 in quadrant play. Laramie 7-1, again, have not played here in the Southeast due to the COVID-19 restrictions, and Cheyenne South at the bottom at 3-5, 0-2 in quadrant play.
Yeah, and again, you feel bad for Laramie first and foremost because again,
those games will be made up, so thankfully they're not going to lose them.
Yeah, but it's like we're going down to Sterling this weekend or tomorrow, and I was looking. The men have already had 2 games. Well, the lady plainsmen down.
The women have not. They
have not played a game.
They were supposed to play in a
tournament.
College of Southern Idaho tournament that got canceled on them. The men have played. But we're seeing that across again, on the local side, JUCO,
everywhere.
D1, it's affecting everywhere. So, it's only inevitable. I especially for LCCC when we talk more about that, there's going to be a game that's going to be canceled or a weekend that just gets canceled.
I would
or
hope
postponed.
not. And it was nice this weekend at least to be home with McCook on Friday, and on Saturday we had North Platte. And, again, everybody did the social distancing thing. Matter of fact, where we sit is usually on the visitor side. Yeah, but we're up top. And very few – there was hardly anybody.
Well, no visitor fans are allowed, or at least evidently no one outside.
And there's no teams are in there, too.
No.
Waiting in between games.
Yeah, the men usually waited, or, again, you had soccer teams in or whatever, whoever. It's pretty much of here's 100. And that's it. Get in, get out, and that's all you're allowed.
All right, we're going to take a timeout. We'll come back. We'll talk about the LCCC splits over the weekend. We're back after this.
If it happens on the diamond, the hardwood, the field, or even the ice, we'll talk about it on Wyoming Sports Talk today. Hi, this is Nick Peretti inviting you to join Larry Peretti and myself each weekday from 3 to 5 p.m. as we, along with our special guests, talk sports locally, regionally, and nationally. And you can chat with us too at 307-514-1071. It's Wyoming Sports Talk today only on 1480 KRAE, and you can stream live with us at 1480krae.com.
MHP is a certified public accounting and consulting firm located in Bow, Cheyenne, and Fort Collins, offering accounting, tax, and consulting services to businesses, not-for-profit, government, and individual clients. MHP takes pride in their commitment to providing close, personal attention to their clients. They also continue to invest time and resources in continuing education, state-of-the-art computer technology, and valuing their relationships with you. MHP is a proud supporter of local and UW athletics. MHP, 314 West 18th Street, or call 634-2151.
When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think authentic Italian. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think made fresh from scratch. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think great pizza, delicious Philly cheesesteak, superb hot and cold Italian sandwiches, meatballs, sausage, and special subs, calzones, crisp salads, and great service. When you say Mondello's Pizzeria, think unmatched Italian taste. Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, your only true Italian stop for lunch or dinner.
When you are dealing with the coin shop to buy, sell, or trade your gold, silver, or other precious metals, you will be met with honesty, fairness, knowledge, and exceptional customer service. The Coin Shop has been serving Cheyenne since 1982 and is a respected member of our community. Call David today at 778-7196 to meet privately or visit during regular business hours, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 p.m. The Coin Shop, a dealer you can trust, 510 West 16th Street.
At Medicap Pharmacy, we concentrate on nothing but your medications and your health. Each location is a locally owned, full-service neighborhood pharmacy. We won't make you walk through aisles and aisles of stuff or wait in a long line. Instead, we'll always make time for you by listening, answering your questions, and explaining your prescriptions.
Medicap Pharmacy. We'll always make time for you.
Medicap Pharmacy, 1947 Bluegrass Circle, next to Texas Roadhouse in Cheyenne. Or call 635-3712.
We get it. Your world is still a bit upside down right now. Maybe you're dealing with a loss of income or you have worries about your job. Let Laramie County Community College help. You could start classes for a certification in a high-demand field or begin your journey to completing a degree. We have the programs to move you toward the future you deserve. In fact, many classes are available online. Visit Laramie County Community College at lccc.wy.edu.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
Weather-wise for today, partly to mostly cloudy with a chance of snow flurries for this afternoon. Expect a daytime high of 29. Cloudy for tonight with a chance for snow, patchy freezing fog after midnight. Our low dropping down to 10 degrees. That patchy freezing fog will hang around tomorrow morning. There's also a chance of snow in the forecast under a cloudy sky. Look for a daytime high of only 22 degrees.
When it comes to sports talk in Cheyenne, it's a whole new ballgame. Let's play ball! You're listening to Wyoming Sports Talk today, and it's only here on AM 1480 KRAE.
We are back on Wyoming Sports Talk today. So we got LCCC basketball off and running. We had the McCook Lady Indians and Indians, respectively, on Friday, followed up by the Lady Knights and Knights of North Platte Community College, all part of Mid-Plains College over in that part of the world.
9-day difference between both teams. McCook, who knows what this team's going to be made of, like in the South. Could they be that upper elite squad? Again, they certainly look very talented.
You know, the only thing that's bad about them, though, they like they're a very chippy team, and there's no business for that. Go play basketball. And I think better teams that are more disciplined, like Western Nebraska, are going to knock the snot out of them.
Yeah, without a doubt. It's something that temperament out there has got to improve, without a doubt. And, again, we saw one former LCCC body that was kind of, again, causing a little issue out there, but nothing too big. But
they dialed it back in the second half, and they played basketball. Yeah, they're okay. You know what? I would say if you give me LCCC Saturday against that same McCook team, I think LCCC beats them.
Yeah, I think so. I think it was just that first game kind of jitters for everyone, especially on the women's side and men's side, that, could, again, that road trip out to McCook, could LCCC defeat the Lady Indians and Indians? Yeah, I think they can. Again, both teams lost their games very close. Again, we'll start with the women, where on Friday lost that game 64-61. And again, that was, and also too, the play call as well too. Again, in interim head coach Danielle Ronaldo talked about that on at least on the pregame show with you on Saturday, talking about that last minute was very mismanaged. And again, it was not executed by her players. Again, you were going like, what are they doing? Why do you sag off? Where again, you're down by 3 points. You should be aggressive at this point in time. They were playing as if they were down by 10 with a minute.
Or they were leading.
Yeah, and, it was like what are you doing here? And again, it burned off about 20 some odd seconds before someone realized, hey, we got a foul. We got to be aggressive at this basketball. And again, I think I said it on the broadcast, saying this is going to cost them that contest, and it did.
Yeah, wasn't a team unity, I guess. We saw a lot of individualism there I didn't like.
Overall, for the women on night one, that Friday against McCook, hosting that at least team here in town, it was just not smart basketball overall.
No, it wasn't. And Coach Ronaldo, like most coaches, will shoulder the blame. Yeah and no. She should have used her timeout better.
Yeah.
And she mentioned that. But the thing is, though, I mean, these kids have played basketball before. They know what what the score is.
Yeah.
And
you know how much time is left. It's posted everywhere.
And I'm sure you've done this before in your lifetime where, hey, you had a foul right away.
Yeah.
And again, they played reckless. And you did not have all that cohesion there. You had, the Spanish connection. They're throwing up shots. They're doing the Euro steps. You're depending on Abby Garreau underneath. She logged all 40 minutes, and she was worn out.
You talk about that Spanish connection with Bleda and Fleta, where it's a situation where they got to step it up. If they're going to be producing, or at least if Coach Ronaldo is going to expect a lot of minutes out of these two, and even Anna Tyrone, we're all three of them right now. Again, you got to realize that, hey, you're not playing European basketball. You're not in Spain. This is how we play collegiate basketball in the States, where, again, it's going to be physical. You can't get away with that extra step. They're going to call that every single time, and they did it every single time.
How many travels did we have in that game? Holy
It was
moly.
unbelievable. Basically, I said it in the broadcast, and I'll repeat of what I saw Friday, or at least, again, what we saw Friday of this LCCC women's team was just basically a copy and paste of what we saw last season, at the tail end of last season, where, again, it was just boneheaded plays, boneheaded mistakes that cost them games. Yep. And it cost them this one against McCook.
And, again, you wipe out a great effort by Abby Garreau underneath. And, like I said, and she didn't play as many minutes on Saturday, and that was a good thing. She had a chance to, at least rest her legs. And even though she said, I could have gone, but you could tell she was worn out. Because you know how you can tell when somebody's worn out? When the shots are not falling, and you could see that it's in the palm.
Yeah.
It's not off the fingertips. There was nothing fluid. Well, I would say for about the last, correct me if I'm wrong, Nick, I'd say basically in that fourth quarter, she had looks inside. She couldn't get it to fall.
Yeah, and again, Saturday was a nice rebound victory, albeit, again, it is against a North Platte team that size-wise matched up with them very well. Again, it was an even kind of height and size effort for North Platte. But again, let's not mention that this is also to a D2 program in JUCO athletics that you got an 11-point victory over that, again, at home. Yes, it's great that they got the victory, and again, you got off the schneid, and here we go. We can hopefully have some positivity moving into tomorrow's contest at Northeastern Junior College, but we now step it up to the big leagues where Northeastern, they usually put out a pretty decent team year in and year out on the women's side, and then Saturday at La Junta, Otero. Let's not forget that the Lady Rattlers last year were really good.
Well, and right now, we got to say NJC is unknown. We don't know.
Yeah, NGC is unknown.
And going by the roster, they're not really huge. I think their tallest is 6 foot, and they run 5'9", 5'7". But, the point is they have to have better guard play.
Mm-hmm.
Jimena has to play much better at the guard position. And the fouls that she were committing were not smart.
No.
Anna Tyrone definitely has to be a better handler, better ball handler.
She's still playing as if she's in high school.
And then she has good dribble drive to the hoop. But there's other times when she's dribbling inside, she just throws up bricks.
Yeah. Then again, it's almost like for Anna, she just kind of tosses it up, anticipating that she's going to get the foul. And every single time, or at least majority of the time, you're not getting that foul call. They actually let you play out there, and it was just a blown opportunity, a one-and-done chance. And looking at the upcoming schedule where, again, it's still an unknown right now with the Lady Golden Eagles of what this team will be. Is this a team that could be above 500? Again, to be determined, especially where we get into a very interesting portion of the program here, especially seeing these South teams where
the schedule's going to get tough on them.
At Northeastern, at Otero. How about this in February? You see the Lady Cougars of Western Nebraska, who are ranked. I do believe they're number 10 in the nation. They just put up a 100 spot against, if I remember correctly, against Central Wyoming.
Yeah,
Central Wyoming amount only 20 points in that game.
20 points, yeah.
That's a scary team right there. And we saw what happened in that exhibition there at Scotts Bluff, where again they kept it close. Fourth quarter, it collapsed.
Yeah.
Trinidad State, again, not sure what
they're
Trojans
usually competitive. You got to give Trinidad State their due.
But basically here, again, for majority of this, you're seeing a lot of these South teams where if we go off of last season and what they returned, there's some good teams down there that are going to make you pay for those mistakes, especially the most notably of Western Nebraska, you see twice here and on the road at Scotts Bluff.
And the one young lady that, in addition, we mentioned Abby, was Sam Hester.
She's consistent.
I really liked her game. She got into foul difficulty on Friday, but I'll tell you what, you give her an opportunity beyond the arc, she's going to hurt you. And she's just but she's an all-around player. I guess that's the word.
Here's the scary thing is what we're talking about with the Lady Indians of Cheyenne Central. Same thing can be said here of the Lady Golden Eagles of LCCC. Of if you slow down, you quiet down Sam Hester, and if Abby's having an off night, who's your go-to?
Well,
who's going to pick up that slack?
And you saw off the bench, besides Bleda, who can score, they weren't getting much production from Kaysen. She still likes to absorb those charges inside, but again, she's not a big scorer.
No.
So, I'm trying to think. Even a couple other kids that played on Saturday, they're not going to get it done. They're just not going to get it done at this level. So, this is a team that's going to have to grow, and it's going to have to grow up in a hurry.
Yeah,
that's the easiest way to say it.
Again, it's hard to understand, and we'll get a better understanding this weekend, or at least this week on the road for LCCC on the road side.
How are we going to be on the road?
How are we going to be, again, if they go 0-2 on the road, I think we got a serious issue right now with LCCC that this could be a similar experience of what we had with the men last year where, here we go, it's going to be a long season. And I think that, again, if it ends up to be that, and again, dependent upon the scores where – if these teams are kind of winning by double figures over LCCC, it's a little scary thought of what this season could be potentially.
And again, if you can, especially with Coach Ward and Coach Ronaldo, head coach Ronaldo, if you can put a cap somehow, some way on that recklessness, and you know exactly what I'm talking about.
If Coach Ortmeyer could do it last season,
but you're going to have. You're going to have right now. You have to stop it.
Yeah,
because it's going to be detrimental, and like EWC, they're going to make you pay for it.
Oh yeah.
So and even
EWC Central,
Central,
or at least
do
not
like they did last year. They tried to slow you down.
Yeah,
they did win.
I was going to say they did take care of business. Casper, again, we know Casper is the elite right now in Region 9 on the women's side,
and we do have good outside shooting. It's not great, but it's good outside shooting. I'm more worried inside the paint. From about 12 feet, 12 feet to the bucket, I'm worried.
The defense is also too very worrisome for LCCC. Where again, we look at EWC, we look at Casper, we look at some of these. Again, Otero likes to shoot it from beyond the arc. What we saw last year with the Lady Rattlers, we saw McCook, where again you got an inch of spacing. They got a lot of spacing, not a whole lot of press from that LCCC defense. When they rained threes, they went unconscious.
And when the Lady Golden Eagles were in the zone, especially against North Platte, that shut them down. Once they went back to man, they had the outside shooting touch. And again, I think they, correct me if I'm wrong, I think North Platte had more threes than we did.
I do believe so. But either way, though, again, LCCC gets the win. Again, their first win. Congratulations to Danielle Ronaldo. Her first ever, at least, head coaching victory, again, as the interim head coach of LCCC. So, again, her first official victory. So, congratulations. After this past week in LCCC on the women's side is 1-1 overall. So, again, that is at least you got one win out of the two. We were hoping for the two, but at least we'll take the one at home, so the split. So,
and you get to see them again, so we'll see what happens at their place.
Moving over to the men's side, same goes as what happened with the women. Again, McCook, you lost that contest in a close effort, 90-86, but you found a way to really step it up against a North Platte team that, again, it's hard to judge of what LCCC on the men's side is going to be due to the fact that North Platte is a very young team, and also, too, of looking at that Saturday contest, that's a team that just conditioning-wise is not there right now.
And here's the deal, too. You look back on Friday, and Coach Salisbury mentioned that to us. If they would have came out and played better basketball the first 10 minutes, because, before it was an LCCC team that usually petered out in the second half.
Yeah.
Well, they were very inconsistent over the first 10 minutes, and they only lost by, 5?
And they had a cold spell for about a good 5 minutes, and I do believe in the first, midway of the first half. Again, same situation would happen in Saturday's contest where we had about a 20, near 30-point lead for LCCC, but again, that 5-minute kind of cold spell where offense just vanishes. They got away, thankfully, and got the victory, but I think I mentioned on Friday's game, it's, former head coach Jason Fickett was saying for last year's team, hey, we're waiting for this team to play that full 40. Well, what we got on Friday was a team that put out about a 35-minute effort. It was almost there. And again, you lost by only 4 points. You had a shot to take down this Indians team, but again, it proved that 5-minute kind of lull there on the offense really bit you. But again, that is something where it's going to be very fun to watch that rematch there in McCook of could they at least get it done against them.
Well, and here's the problem again, and this was also discussed this morning. The problem is in the middle. Sorry,
Coswell. Again, he's your big man, but he's
good for shot blocks.
He's defense. He's a defense only guy. Offense is nowhere there.
And Ash Chidua is
foul prone.
Foul prone, and he still does not have a soft touch around the bucket.
The point blank shots where again he's rushing them, and you wonder if it's more jitters on the inside of feeling that pressure from other teams on him that he's just rushing those, or again kind of like an Anna Torone of just tossing it up there and assuming the foul is going to come from him. Ash has a lot of issues. Molinar again. He's
an aircraft carrier.
He's getting there. He's trying to be that big man who's not afraid and is being aggressive. We've seen stints out of him, but again, the main focal point or the guy that should be the guy on the inside is Coswell. Again, phenomenal on the defense. The offense is just awful.
Again, that is your Achilles heel for the guys. But the run and gun lineup that he had out there, and matter of fact, when I talk with Coach Salisbury tomorrow, I'm going to ask him if he took a page out of Paul Westhead at Loyola Marymount. Because, again, you had Oliver out there, you had Lewis out there, you had Boyce out there, Xavier was out there, and the other kid, the Malatovich.
Oh, Malatic, right?
Malatic. Anyway, and I'm just learning him too. When you have that lineup out there, that's your smalls. And your big guy,
that's your offensive producer.
Your big guy out there is Xavier at 6'3", and what they did, that's the run and gun team, and they can hit from anywhere in the building. Especially Boyce. But my point is though, they ran North Platte, and you saw Coach O'Connor had to call a couple 3 timeouts, and those guys came over to the bench. They were bent over. They were gassed. So, and again, this is a credit to Coach Salisbury and those young men. They're in pretty doggone good shape. Yusef Washington, he came in there and added some really fine minutes and put in some points as well, too.
If I was Coach Salisbury, and again, getting prepared for this upcoming weekend where, again, Northeastern Junior College, again, great program of what they got going on with the Plainsmen, especially what they did last season. Again, making it as far as they did in the Region 9 tournament. Otero, we saw where that team was on the men's side. Again, a top 25 program early on. They kind of petered out towards the end. But, again, it was still a very phenomenal program. It's going to be interesting to see how LCCC responds on the road. Again, same with the lady counterpart. But here on the men's side, you got some big-time tests here on the road coming up. Again, at Northeastern and Otero coming up Saturday.
Well, Northeastern.
If I'm Coach Salisbury, I'd probably look at that run and gun, that offensive, at least that small lineup where, especially anytime you could put Jared Boyce out there on the court, this guy, we were waiting all season. We heard all last year of the talent that he had. Again, we were unable to at least see what he was able to do. Here we go, 2 games into this season. What we saw last year from Eric Oliver, Jared Boyce is kind of taking it to like a whole nother level.
Well, and we had a chance to talk with Jared after the game, and what I really like, even though he did not play last year, he focused on his studies.
Yeah.
And that's very important to him. And basketball, I'm glad to be playing, but he is a very intelligent young man who knows exactly what to do in the basketball court. Again, Coach Trenkel is going to match up very well against Cheyenne, LCCC, size-wise, on the run and gun side. They're not that big. 4 sophomores and a freshman will be starting against LCCC tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to that contest. Again, the run and gun offense by LCCC, that was exciting. And look, put over Hondo up on the board.
116. And again, it's been a while since LCCC's put up 100 points in a couple seasons. So, this could be again. We were waiting for an offense like this out of former head coach Jason Ficka's teams, but now we got it here with interim head coach Dwayne Salisbury, where again this offense it's no longer Eric Oliver as the focal point. Again, we can finally give that guy a rest, or at least he's don't want to say an afterthought, but he is that guy that can kind of sit back in the shadows and quietly get you about 20, 30 points. Where, again, you have
3 other guys that can hit from long range as well, too, including Xavier.
Xavier, again, Jared Boyce. Jared Boyce is going to be the guy that I'm assuming throughout the season is going to get probably the more pressure.
But you can't sag off on anybody. No. That's when you'll get burned.
Yeah.
And again, like I said, I love that run and gun offense that they had out there. Again, I think if I remember right, it was called the System under Paul Westhead. All right, we're going to take a timeout. When we come back, Jeff Linder, head coach of the Wyoming Cowboys, is going to step up to the microphone. It was a 2-2 weekend. Cowboys won 2, Cowgirls lost 2. Jeff Linder is going to be excited at the podium to talk about the 2 wins, and we will hear from him coming up right here on 1480 KRAE.
Capital Lumber is number 1 in Cheyenne. Are you listening? We're all the lumber store you'll ever need.
The tradition continues at family-owned and operated Capital Lumber Company, now into their 7th decade of serving Cheyenne and Laramie County. Capital Lumber Company is still your one-stop shop for lumber and materials. Plus, for all the do-it-yourselfers, Capital Lumber Company has just about everything for the outside and inside projects that you're tackling right now. Capital Lumber Company at 1222 Dunn Avenue.
AJ Miller here for Kia of Cheyenne. Since the day we opened 15 years ago, we've always tried to do our best to put the customer first. Take a look at the new 2021 Kia Seltos. This vehicle has everything you need. Available options include turbo power, all-wheel drive, 10-inch touchscreen, wireless charging, and plenty of driver-assisted technology. Don't miss out. Come by Kia of Cheyenne. Call 775-0123 or go to kiaofcheyenne.com. We'll make it easy.
Has been your locally owned appliance store. Not only do we offer several major brands, we also service what we sell. And we have the largest parts department in Laramie County. Next time you're in a big box store, just ask to see their parts and service department. Then come visit the appliance experts at B&B Appliance and TV, 714 Central Avenue. Best brands, hometown service.
Check out the huge savings this week at Town & Country Supermarket Liquors. Here are just a few of the terrific weekly specials. Our Super Radio buys heard only right here feature Tito's Handmade Vodka, 750 milliliter bottle, $15.99. Kona Brewing Island Hop Mix Pack, 12-pack, 12-ounce bottles, $14.49. And Jose Cuervo Tequila, gold or silver, 750 milliliter bottle, $13.99. Town & Country Supermarket Liquors on the South Greeley Highway, Cheyenne's low-price leader. At First Tier Bank, we are proud to be a member of this great community and will always support all of our high school athletes. First Tier Bank takes great pride in sponsoring the live broadcast of the games and would like to wish all of our teams good luck. We share the credo with Newt Rockney when he said, "One man practicing sportsmanship is far better than 100 teaching it." It's all about the high school sports at First Tier Bank, 1508 Stillwater Avenue, Cheyenne. This might not be your New Year's resolution, but it should be. Never drink and drive. Ever. Be smart and stay safe. Getting behind the wheel after even one drink is a recipe for disaster. Be the envy of your friends and stick to your resolution. You'll be glad you did, and you'll be here to talk about it. Don't drink and drive. Paid for by Federal Highway Safety Funds.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
Weather-wise for today, partly to mostly cloudy with a chance of snow flurries for this afternoon. Expect a daytime high of 29. Cloudy for tonight with a chance for snow, patchy freezing fog after midnight. Our low dropping down to 10 degrees. That patchy freezing fog will hang around tomorrow morning. There's also a chance of snow in the forecast under a cloudy sky. Look for a daytime high of only 22 degrees.
Here the season never ends. From Wyoming sports to the Broncos in Denver. From Rockies baseball to talking hoops with Nuggets basketball. Local, regional, and national. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, right here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Well, try to be quick because I know that you guys and myself, want to go watch that AFC Championship game. How about Tom Brady, man? That's unbelievable. But I thought for our guys tonight, just a really good step in the right direction, knowing that we knew we were going to get a big punch from Nevada, and they did a good job, especially early on, of kind of adjusting from game one and pressuring out a little bit more and kind of disrupting our rhythm offensively. We started out great, especially on the defensive end, and then we kind of got in foul trouble. And then they did a good job of kind of disrupting some of our timing. But I thought our guys did a really good job of finishing the half, especially with the foul trouble that we had, to where we could go into half up one, and then challenge the guys that we had to have more energy in the second half if we were going to win that game. Let Quan know that the first half wasn't good enough, and he turns around and that's what I like. Hey, let me know I'm wrong, and that's the beauty of Quan, is he's got a short memory, and he came out and really set the tone to start the second half, and then from there it was just it was a collective effort, and it's unfortunate. Not sure what really happened to Kenny. Saw him go down. Not sure if there was contact that caused him to fall awkwardly on his knee. We'll know more in time, the extent of it, but I really feel bad for him because he'd been really starting to play really well. You could just see the confidence growing, just the energy that he was playing with. It's what we wanted him to be, and he has in him, and allows you to win games. And so for him to go down, it was a big blow, but the other guys really stepped up. You go down the line. Obviously Marcus, when you look at the stat sheet, did a tremendous job. Him and Graham in the pick and rolls, you see, they can cause a lot of problems. And then Xavier Dussel, he's not scared. Made a big shot there coming out of the timeout, and then challenged Maldo at the 4-minute timeout. Maldo's he's such a good kid, and he's such a smart kid. And sometimes smart kids, they overthink sometimes, or they kind of get in their own head. And I told him, man, hey, we need you to finish this game. Don't worry about the last mistake. We need you to finish. And he did a really good job of attacking that matchup down the stretch, and made a couple big baskets. But overall, defensively, I think we took a big step in the right direction. Having to hold a team like them for 2 games under 38% in both, that's what it needs to be if you want to have a chance to win in this league against the better teams. And Nevada was playing as well as anybody coming into this game. And so for us to respond the way we did after winning the first game with a young team, it's a positive. So, questions, Cats.
Jim, I know you guys like taking things day at a time, game by game, but did these 2 wins feel big for you guys?
Yeah, every win's big. And his problem is he can't really enjoy them because you play on Sundays and different days, and you just go right back to the drawing board. And for these guys, they got to go to class tomorrow, which actually they're not going to class. They got to go to they got their Zoom classes, and so for our guys, it's just a matter of I think they realize if they really understand what the coaches are telling them, and I think Coach DeWeese did a tremendous job, with the defensive game plan and understanding the urgency that you really need to have every day. And I think the Air Force game really kind of, losing the Boise the way we did, and then to lose the Air Force game, I think it really woke up our guys, and probably more so the younger guys too. And it was just a different feel in practice. And that's where ultimately you win games, is in practice. And the fact that we can actually go 5-on-5 in practice now, because you add Brendan Wenzel the equation. We got 2 great walk-ons in John Grigsby and Taryn Dickey. And so now you actually have bodies. You have 12 or 13 guys to where you can go up and down a little bit. And so it's a step in the right direction, but we also know that it doesn't get any easier with San Diego State coming up. Davis.
Jeff, you've talked about how Graham sort of adds a different dimension for you guys. Is that today what he did? Is that sort of what you expect? When he can stay on the floor and not be in foul trouble?
Yeah, I mean, that's the reason why I recruited him as hard as anybody over the last probably 2 years. And it wasn't, I think some people thought, maybe he's not athletic enough. He comes from a really athletic background. I mean, his mom was a really good player. His uncles, Josh, and Daniel. I mean, Daniel won a Super Bowl with the Patriots. I mean, played in the NFL forever. So, I mean, his grandfather, Tom Graham, played in the NFL. I mean, he comes from a really athletic background. And, the main thing that I like is guys with feel, and a guy at his size, even though I knew that, maybe he wasn't going to be that, Warren Washington, that guy that really plays above the rim. He's a guy that, reminds me of Coach Vandiver. I mean, Coach Vandiver, I've known Coach Vandiver since I was 20 years old, and he was in his, late 20s, early 30s, playing overseas and come back and play in the summers. And Graham reminds me a lot of Coach Vandiver, who was, not Coach Vandiver wasn't the guy that was going to beat you in the air, but man, I mean, he was going to beat you up, and he had great hands, a soft touch, and he had a tremendous feel for the game. And that's the thing with Graham, is he knows the game. He sees how the game flows. He can get us into that second, third action, and then he can put pressure on the rim, with his ability to roll, and he can put pressure on the rim with his back to the basket. And then he has the feel to where he can make plays out of the post with his passing. And so, not to say that I expect him to play this well this early, but it's no surprise, because that's why I recruited him so hard. Tracy.
Along the lines of that, with Graham, I know the pandemic's been a mess. I'm not trying to downplay it, but how big has it been for him to be able to be out there now playing, whereas you originally thought he'd have to sit the whole year?
No, it's an incredible opportunity, because I mean it was known, a year ago, when we were recruiting him, that I was like, you're not playing next year. I mean, it's not, even though you could maybe come back kind of near, it's not worth it to come in and play 8 games and lose a year. And the biggest thing was making sure that he was healthy and strong. And if you would have seen him in high school until now, I mean, he just having his knee fixed, and then being in a strength and conditioning program and nutrition, I mean, he just moves so much better. And so, to have the opportunity, a lot like the football players do, where they can play those last, I think, 2 or 3 games and not burn a redshirt year, for him to have the opportunity to play these games. Because it's hard. If he doesn't play this year, I mean, he's almost looking at 2 years before he plays again. And that's hard. And so for him to take advantage of the fact that he can play this year and still be a freshman, it's only going to pay off in the long run. Because as you can see, I mean, with the experience that these young guys are getting, that's how you get better. In recruiting, sometimes people fool you with player development, but players really develop when they play a lot of minutes. And those guys are getting that, and that's going to allow them just to continue to get better this year and moving forward. Davis.
Jeff, Graham was saying that you guys had talked about playing him about 10 minutes, and he plays 22 today before fouling out. I'm curious, just what are you comfortable with him minute-wise? Can he play more than that?
No, it's just with the foul trouble that Hunter had, and then I mean ultimately it's up to Graham. And as I told him, I mean me and him have a really close relationship, and he knows that I'm not going to put him in harm's way. I mean, that's the last thing I'm going to do. But he has to make sure he communicates to us, that when he gets tired, to come out. And so there was probably a stretch there in the second half where we probably wanted to get him out maybe about 30 seconds sooner before he picked up that fourth. But he's also a guy too that he knew the game was on the line, and he's competitive, and he wanted to be out there. But it's just a game by game, and the beauty of it is it gives us when the other team's got to prepare for a guy like Hunter Thompson at the 5, who really stretches you out and causes a lot of problems, being being unconventional. And then now you add a guy like Graham, who has the ability, one, to play on the perimeter because he can shoot the ball and he can really handle it and pass it. And now you add a guy, but he can put pressure on the rim. And he's a guy where, as you saw, that if you want to switch on him, he's going to make you pay. I mean, it might not be where he gets the ball, but those guards over time, I mean, they don't want to keep getting hit by him. And so it's just that cumulative effect. But to have a guy that can really put pressure on the rim with the roll, and the ability to throw the ball inside to him with his back to the basket, and knowing that he can go make a play, it takes a lot of pressure off us offensively to where we're living and dying by the 3. Michael.
It was a a lot of the young guys for most of the game doing damage, but when it mattered most, it was Maldo making those 2 huge baskets down the stretch. Just how important is it to have a guy like Maldo on this team?
Well, I mean, the biggest thing with Maldo is that, 1, his maturity, 2, his care factor. Like I said, sometimes he almost cares too much. If you can do that. Because, like I said, sometimes with a guy like him who's so smart and such a thinker, that sometimes, I said, those guys can get in their own heads. And that's where I really told him at the end there, because he had a couple, had a turnover that was just not sure how it happened. But I'm like, we need you to finish this game. Like, we need you to be a guy that closes. And the matchup presented itself, and he responded. And that's what he wants to do. I mean, he wants to leave a legacy here, just like Thompson. The easy thing for them to do when I got the job and it was to say, hey, that, we're going to go and see if something else is different because we're tired of this. But those guys, I mean, they're all about being a Cowboy, and they want to leave their mark. And, I'm glad that I can hopefully help them try to, leave that mark and leave that legacy.
80 KRAE Cheyenne. It's time for Wyoming Sports Talk today on KRAE. Here are your hosts, Nick and Larry Proetti.
Hour number 2 of Wyoming Sports Talk today, which we will do for the half hour, as we heard from Coach Jeff Linder, again sweeping the pair at home against the University of Nevada Wolfpack. Well, hour number 2, half hour, is being brought to you by Mondello's Pizzeria, 778-6068, open 7 days a week. First Tier Bank is at 1508 Stillwater Avenue, 632-3500. They're open Monday through Friday. Lennox Auto Body, along with the Auto Glass and Detail Center. Auto Glass and Detail Center, 617 East Pershing Boulevard, and the Auto Body Shop at 1020 Dunn Avenue. Open Monday through Friday, 634-6608. B&B Appliance and TV is at 714 Central Avenue. You can reach Bruce and the crew at 638-6468. And again, you can reach for sales and service. Medicap Pharmacy, for all your pharmaceutical needs, 635-3712. That's the automated number you can call, or drop on by and become part of the Medicap family. You can come on by Monday through Saturday inside, or use the convenient drive-thru. Chick-fil-A is at Windmill and Del Range, right across from Powersfield and Menards. They're open Monday through Saturday, 7 a.m. until 10 p.m. Again, on the app, you can get the mobile curbside. You also can go through the 2 convenient drive-thrus. And remember, CheyenneChicken.com. That is the Chick-fil-A web address, so you can have them cater your next event. Platte Valley Bank, 2 banking locations for you. You'll find Rick and the great crew over on Banda High, and you'll find the excellent staff over at the corner of College and Pershing, open Monday through Friday, 778-0021 for Platte Valley Bank. And Key of Cheyenne's over on Nation Way. They're also online, keyofcheyenne.com. Family-owned, family-operated. A.J. Miller says come on by and see us, kick a few tires, take a test drive, and do your buying or leasing with Key of Cheyenne. 775-0123. And it's scoreboard time. It is being brought to you by Taco John's of Cheyenne. 5 locales for you. First, you will find them South Greeley Highway. You'll find them at Pershing and Ridge, Del Range and Ridge, downtown on KRAE Avenue, and on Yellowstone Road. Taco John's of Cheyenne. West Mex cuisine at its best for over 51 years. Let's check in with Nick and find out what's going on in his world.
Coming up tomorrow here on 1480 KRAE, we'll have more LCCC basketball, men's and women's, as LCCC will be on the road for the first time this season after, again, going 1-1 this past weekend against McCook and North Platte. So we will be on the road, traveling down to Sterling, Colorado to see NJC, the Plains women and the Plains men, as, again, we've been saying the Lady Plainsmen, but, again, Plains women and Plains men. It sounds weird, but...
No, I call them Lady Plains.
Yeah, but either way, LCCC taking on Northeastern Junior College. Again, tip-off time, 5:30 for the women. Men tentative for 7:30. Pre-game show here on 1480 KRAE around 5:10-ish. 1480 AM, 101.1 FM, 1480KRAE.com is how you hear this contest. Video live streaming on Periscope via Twitter at Nick Wild Sports and the 1480 KRAE YouTube channel. So 5 different ways to tune in for this contest coming up tomorrow night. Also, do want to mention NHL action for tonight. 1 game on the slate. We'll be at 8 o'clock live from Vancouver, British Columbia. It will be at the Rogers Arena where the Vancouver Canucks will take on the Ottawa Senators. That's your only contest in NHL action for tonight. Last night, if you didn't see it, the Avs lose to the Anaheim Ducks at Honda Center 3-1. So the Avalanche losing to the Ducks last night 3-1.
And they're at the Mendoza line right now, 3-3.
Trailing the Vegas Golden Knights.
Who are 5-1.
Yeah.
See, I've been keeping up on it. All right, let's talk hoops, professional hoops. 76ers visit the Pistons, Raptors at the Pacers, Hornets at the Magic in the Amway Center. It will be the Miami Heat visiting the Brooklyn Nets at the Barclays Center, Lakers, Cavaliers in the Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse in Cleveland, Ohio. The Mavericks in Dallas, Texas, playing host to the Denver Nuggets. The Boston Celtics on the road at the United Center facing the Bulls. Spurs, Pelicans in the Smoothie King Center in New Orleans. Warriors in Chase. They will host the Minnesota Timberwolves. Trailblazers in the Moda Center have a date with the OKC Thunder. And, by the way, we already have one postponement. The Grizzlies and the Sacramento Kings, again, have been wiped out in Memphis due to COVID-19 concerns. Our scoreboard brought to you by Taco John's of Cheyenne.
With all this newfound time at home, it's good to get an easy win for the whole family. So this month, we're turning Taco Tuesday into Taco Tuesday. Get our 6-pack and a pound. That's 6 savory beef tacos and a pound of crispy potato olays for $2 off any day of the week. Taco John's. See you in the drive-thru.
Drive-thru still open for all your family's favorites with easy ordering on the app and delivery at participating locations with the Taco John's app. Your locally owned and operated radio stations, KYOI FM and 1480 KRAE AM, are just that, local, serving Cheyenne and Laramie County, where your advertising dollar stays local too. It doesn't end up in Colorado, Oklahoma, New Hampshire, or even New York. We conduct business here, we shop here, and we live here. And we support our entire community 24/7, 365. Just because it has a window dressing doesn't mean it isn't a facade. A reminder from KYOI and 1480 KRAE.
We are the key to your cleaning success. The Key People that provides affordable office and professional cleaning services for over 40 years with exceptional customer care. All of our contractors have background checks and are licensed and bonded. We guarantee you a safe and secure service that is tailored to your individual and business needs. The Key People do not impose year-long contracts, and all quotes are free, confidential, and personalized. Call the Key People at 1-800-468-8283. That's 1-800-468-8283.
Looking for an IT company with friendly, local customer service and the expertise to handle any job? Then go with a name you trust, High West Digital Solutions, a High West energy company. We handle everything from business network management to personal computer problems to same-day phone and tablet repairs. Visit our website at hwds.com or call 307-245-4333 and speak to a real live human being, local, polite, and eager to help. High West Digital Solutions, the best choice, the local choice, the right choice for you.
When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think authentic Italian. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think made fresh from scratch. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think great pizza, delicious Philly cheesesteak, superb hot and cold Italian sandwiches, meatballs, sausage, and special subs, calzones, crisp salads, and great service. When you say Mondello's Pizzeria, think unmatched Italian taste. Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, your only true Italian stop for lunch or dinner.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
Weather-wise for today, partly to mostly cloudy with a chance of snow flurries for this afternoon. Expect a daytime high of 29. Cloudy for tonight with a chance for snow, patchy freezing fog after midnight. Our low dropping down to 10 degrees. That patchy freezing fog will hang around tomorrow morning. There's also a chance of snow in the forecast under a cloudy sky. Look for a daytime high of only 22 degrees.
You bleed brown and gold? So do we. Wyoming Cowboys football and basketball is always front and center on this show. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Where it was a split for the LCCC squads this weekend, both getting victories on Saturday, both losing on Friday. Cowboys, they did their job. They won 2 Mountain West Conference games against the Wolfpack. Cowgirls, however, in Reno, couldn't get it done. I got the hiccups, sorry. Pardon me.
Again, did not follow, at least because, again, we were busy with LCCC, so, again, that was kind of my main focus. But Cowboys getting it done against Nevada. Good on them to get at least the sweep against Wolfpack that are not the dominant Wolfpack that they've been in the past couple of years, but still a mid-tier team in the Mountain West Conference. So, again, boost after, again, kind of what has been an abysmal start for the Cowboys, at least in Mountain West Conference play, coming off, again, the 2 losses or at least
they're trying to rally back.
Yeah,
so
from what happened with Boise. So, again, a little boost of confidence for them for their next matchup. Again, whoever that is coming up next. I don't have the schedule here in front of me. But the Cowgirls, though, again, we knew it was going to be growing pains throughout this entire season. Again, losing 2 straight on the road against Nevada. Again, assuming that Nevada, without looking at the standings, a fair opponent in women's basketball here in the Mountain West Conference.
San Diego State next.
Oh, good luck. That's going to be – sorry, Cowboys. That's going to be tough. But for the Cowgirls, we knew this was going to be growing pains this season. We had a feeling that this was going to happen again. Cowgirls are not that upper elite team or that
but they're
team
young.
They're young, but don't expect much out of this season. This is what's to be expected. Sit around, and then when fans are allowed, hopefully back in the AA next season when this team's a little older, a little wiser. All right. Let's put them at that high expectation, or at least that winning nature that we're accustomed to with the
We're starting
Cowgirls.
to see some of the stars evolve. That we will probably expect bigger things out of them next year. But right now, the Cowgirls are 4-6 in the conference. They're 6-7. Nevada, by winning both games this weekend, they're now 3-5 in the conference.
All right.
So
who
actually
a team that was under the Cowgirls that just at home found a little magic, or at least kind of shocked the world in a way. So
yeah, but the way they lost, though, they lost Friday in Reno, 60-52. They shot 3 of 21 from beyond the arc. It's not gonna get it done. And again, they're 6-7 overall, 4-6 in Mo West play. And again, we can only use the moniker being young. So
you could use it with this team, though. Again,
yeah, but I mean, after a while, they do have to grow up a little bit,
and that's where you hope, or at least that's where you put that expectations on them next year. Same with the Cowboys. Of all right, yeah, we can use this young excuse coming up at least for 2020, 2021. But now next season, when these teams evolve and now these pieces are older and have gotten a taste of varsity time with the Cowboys and Cowgirls, all right. Now my expectations are going to get a little higher of saying, all right, now you got to win.
Well, and the problem with the Cowgirls,
you got that pass. Yeah. Now you got to win.
The Cowgirls' problem, and it's been pretty much consistent throughout this season, is that they are slow starters. They scored 20 in the first half on Friday against the Lady Wolfpack, and then they come back against the Wolfpack the next time they meet and score 16 points in the first half. 8 points in 10-minute quarters, not going to get it done.
No.
So, again, Coach Madison is cool about all of this. He understands what he's got. And, again, he knows, too, when Coach Joe left, that the cupboard was quite a bit bare.
Yeah.
And he's getting that opportunity to build it with his kids, his young ladies. And, again, they also have the international flair going with the Yanks. And you gotta get that all pieced together.
And that's nothing new. Again, we saw that with Coach Legursky and same with Coach Madison. Coach Madison has, again, obviously been on staff for quite some time, learning from Joe Legursky. So there's nothing new. And that winning nature, again, took a bit, at least a backseat here with the age and just, as you mentioned, with the cover being bare. Next season, though, all right, not saying they're going to be the elite of the Mountain West Conference, but, all right, they should be getting back to that above 500 stake, or at least be competitive with majority of the Mountain West Conference teams. So, again, we'll see.
We'll give them we'll give them a pass, but they do need to start aging a little bit.
I think both coaches get a pass this year.
Right now, with the Cowboys, looking at the men's standing, Boise is 9-0, Utah State 9-1. This is all conference, by the way. Rams are 8-2, Aztecs are 5-3. Again, the Cowboys' next opponent. They got to go to San Diego. The Pokes are 4-4, so they're at the Mendoza line, getting those two of the Wolfpack. That sent the Wolfpack to 5-5 now in the season. So with the tiebreaker, the Cowboys are checking in the 5th spot. UNLV only has 4 games due to COVID situation.
Yeah.
They're 2-2. Bulldogs,
which will make up.
Bulldogs are 3-6. Cowboys got a split with the Bulldogs. Air Force is 2-8. New Mexico 1-9, and the Spartans are 1-9 in Mountain West play. So right now the Cowboys sit in the 5-hole. Got a tough couple of games coming up.
Oh yeah,
with the Aztecs. So
yeah,
the Aztecs are 11-4 overall.
Yeah, so good luck. Don't expect much. It might be a similar situation or a similar outcome of what you had with the Boise State matchup. So for the Cowboys, yeah, not expecting them to at least carry over a lot of momentum. Could they split? I just don't see it. I don't see it.
I don't. They're okay for prime time. I just don't know if they are. Well, we'll find out how good they really are.
Yeah,
we'll see how they're improving. And again, it was nice to see, the freshman. Correct me if I'm wrong here. Marcus Williams. He stepped up big for the Cowboys. So maybe the younger guys are starting to get that feel of that D1 process. All right, we want to take. I think we'll keep it here before we take a timeout because that's when we'll wrap things up. Do want to mention the passing of Hank Aaron, 89 years young. Again, Willie Mays is the oldest Hall of Famer.
I was going to say,
now.
I think we already talked about this.
Yeah, he'll be 91 coming up in May. But Hank Aaron passing away at the age of 89. Henry Aaron hitting the home run off Al Downing of the Dodgers to become, at that time, to become the all-time home run leader over Babe Ruth back in 1974, which has been surpassed by Barry Bonds / asterisk, if you want to call it that. But it took him longer to do it. And he played, and if you think about Henry Aaron hitting that home run against Al Downing, he was with the Braves. Also had a little stint in the American League as well, too. So I always felt Willie Mays, and that's my opinion. I always felt Willie Mays was going to be the one who was going to break Babe Ruth's record. And the thing about Mays, and again, Henry Aaron, he did what he had to do. Mays was the complete baseball player.
I was going to say, Willie Mays, though, if you want to talk again, as we're in the talks on the NFL, and we're always with it with Tom Brady of the greatest all time and blah, 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 and we always get, those talking heads always talk about, that kind of stuff. On the baseball side of things, yes, Henry Aaron, again, breaking the all-time home run record. Again, it's impressive without a doubt. Same with Barry Bonds, same with Babe Ruth setting the thing. And again, not too shabby with Willie Mays, again, putting up, 660? Not too shabby for that guy, but again, you want to talk about an all-around, just phenomenal athlete who, if I'm doing pickup baseball at their prime, I'd probably choose Willie Mays over one Hank Aaron.
Yeah, I would too. And again, Aaron wrapped up his career.
Nothing against his talent. Again, he set a phenomenal record, and again, it's a historical thing in baseball. But again, Willie Mays, you can't, again, for an all-around just of greatest, again, he may have not put up the record numbers, but he put up really nearby close great numbers and just was overall a phenomenal just athlete.
Well, and again, look at Aaron's numbers. And I'm just going to throw them out here. He hit 755 career home runs. His last 22 came as a member of the Milwaukee Brewers, his 75 and 76 seasons. So, but during Aaron's career, and again, never had 60 home runs. He, 54, he hit 39. If I'm not, here we go. Let me go down the numbers here. I got 13 his first year of the season, 27, 26, 44, 30, 39, 40. 34, 45, 44. Always, consistent.
Yeah.
But again, also he came to the plate. Here's a case in 1966. He was at bat 603 times and hit 44 home runs. He had more plate appearances than the Babe, and even in the case of Willie Mays. But again, Willie Mays, I felt, did more things on the baseball field than Henry Aaron. Henry Aaron, just a great baseball player in general.
Yeah, a legendary figure. Again, obviously, he's in the Hall of Fame, and again, you're not going to deny what he did for the game of baseball, and again, on the home run side of setting that record. So, I get it. Yeah, it was.
Now you were pointing to me. Do we want to take the
take
break?
a timeout because also do you need at least monitor the dog underneath your table.
All right, so we'll take a quick timeout, and we'll be right back and wrap things up after this here on 1480 KRAE.
MHP is a certified public accounting and consulting firm located in Bow, Cheyenne, and Fort Collins, offering accounting, tax, and consulting services to businesses, not-for-profit, government, and individual clients. MHP takes pride in their commitment to providing close, personal attention to their clients. They also continue to invest time and resources in continuing education, state-of-the-art computer technology, and valuing their relationships with you. MHP is a proud supporter of local and UW athletics. MHP, 314 West 18th Street, or call 634-2151.
Are you looking for a pharmacist who will actually take the time to talk to you? Then come to Medicap Pharmacy. We're dedicated to healthcare only, which means we'll fill your prescription quickly, and then we'll make time to listen, answer your questions, explain your prescriptions, and tell you about possible drug interactions.
Medicap Pharmacy will always make time for you.
Medicap Pharmacy, 1947 Bluegrass Circle, next to Texas Roadhouse in Cheyenne. Or call 635-3712.
B&B Appliance and TV has been your locally owned appliance store. Not only do we offer several major brands, we also service what we sell. And we have the largest parts department in Laramie County. Next time you're in a big box store, just ask to see their parts and service department. Then come visit the appliance experts at B&B Appliance and TV, 714 Central Avenue. Best brands, hometown service.
At First Tier Bank, we are proud to be a member of this great community and will always support all of our high school athletes. First Tier Bank takes great pride in sponsoring the live broadcast of the games and would like to wish all of our teams good luck. We share the credo with Newt Rockney when he said, "One man practicing sportsmanship is far better than 100 teaching it." It's all about the high school sports at First Tier Bank, 1508 Stillwater Avenue, Cheyenne.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
Weather-wise for today, partly to mostly cloudy with a chance of snow flurries for this afternoon. Expect a daytime high of 29. Cloudy for tonight with a chance for snow, patchy freezing fog after midnight. Our low dropping down to 10 degrees. That patchy freezing fog will hang around tomorrow morning. There's also a chance of snow in the forecast under a cloudy sky. Look for a daytime high of only 22 degrees.
Got something to say? Then get it off your chest right now. Phone lines are open at 307-514-1071. Make your opinion count and call the show. Wyoming Sports Talk today.
Super Bowl LV 55 coming up here in a couple of weekends. And
fans will be in stands there at Tampa.
Yeah, and technically it's a home game for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers since that's where they play at Raymond James Stadium.
I think it's one of the. It's. I don't think it's
first.
the first.
It's the first.
It is the first. I was going to say it's one of the few that a team has actually been able to.
The 49ers
host.
The
but
49ers,
that was at
Stanford, but at least it was close to home.
They still. I was going to say that's why I think people still consider that a home game for the 49ers. But again. Even though, again, playing there at Raymond James Stadium there in Tampa, again, you give a slight advantage of, again, it's just their home stadium. Again, Tom Brady and company have been playing there that entire season. But, again, it's still going to be a neutral site where, again, neutral fans are going to be allowed into their, I think it was I think it was just a couple thousand, or it was like a couple thousand, or either 22,000 were going to be allowed in for the Super Bowl. So at least fans will be allowed to attend and watch this contest. Obviously, again, Kansas City is going to send down a good amount of fans. Tampa, again, you're just drawing from the locale.
Yeah,
so.
But it's interesting, though. You figure this, though. You talk about monies to be lost because, again, Super Bowl tickets are not cheap.
No.
And especially if you're pretty much up front, those are like $1,500 seats.
Well, this is where the NFL is going to make up their money of advertising revenue and, again, getting eyeballs, where we talk about the numbers of watching this game. Now where fans are limited to be out there and be a part of those festivities, even though, again, knowing Florida is open and Tampa is kind of operating as is, It's still going to detract a lot of people to flock to Tampa and be a part of the festivities. So you wonder of the visual side where we talk about those Nielsen numbers and just how many are tuned in. You wonder if it's going to be a little bit of a boost, but also to a little incentive for those advertisers for the NFL saying, okay, we may need to charge you a little bit more because you're going to get a lot more out of it.
They are going to be. We'll find out how much the cost of a spot's going to be, but I think last year was like $5.4 million or something like that for a commercial. Anyway, looking at the game, Tampa and Green Bay actually turned out to be better towards the end. Aaron Rodgers, and between you and me, I think that was Aaron Rodgers' last time suiting up as Green Bay. And no one, and you notice they never even referred to that during the game. Oh, this could be Aaron Rodgers' last,
Don't want to speculate, or maybe it was just out of respect, because who knows? Again, there's no guarantee. And
Green Bay is not going to pay Aaron Rodgers top
elite
money.
He is kind of beloved out there, so we'll see what happens. But, yeah, it's showing indication that he's going to be done, and
anyway,
he might be off to Santa Clara.
Rodgers, 33 of 48. He had 1 INT, 3 touchdowns, 346 yards. You look at Brady's numbers. He's 20 of 36, 280 yards. He had
the second half, he sucked.
Yeah, 3 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. You figure right there, it's a win for Green Bay, but they got hot when they needed to be. It was right there in the first half.
Yeah, early on, and then just petered out and almost lost that game. But give credit to Tom Brady again. The guy still knows what it takes to get it done. And I told
Super Bowl.
And again, I think this is a little nod at you, or not nod, but more of a mock at you of last week previewing this game. Told you this could happen.
Well, yeah,
and it did happen. Again, you cannot write off Tom Brady.
No, you can't. And you're going to have to call him the greatest of all time. But the heir apparent to the greatest of all time is going to be wearing a Chiefs uniform.
Yeah.
And that's Patrick Mahomes. And Mahomes did what he needed to do yesterday against Buffalo. I mean, they did everything short. They didn't have to beat him long.
No.
And the thing is, too.
And Buffalo's offense was just.
How about that defense? The defense ruined Josh Allen yesterday.
Oh, I was just going to say more so for the Buffalo Bills offense, and including Josh Allen again, did not show up. Or again, it was just
they had a great defense. Give Kansas City the defensive game plan. Allen spent more time ad-libbing, running for his life. That's probably the most that he's ever had to run for his life. And then he got chippy towards the end. But Mahomes.
It's a Buffalo team that. I don't think this is a one-and-done thing of them making it to an AFC championship game, or maybe they find next season to at least advance and get in the Super Bowl. I think this is something growing big in Buffalo, where if they shore up things in the offseason, in the draft, get a couple extra pieces, again, Buffalo isn't going away anytime soon.
Well, and again, they won the Lamar Hunt Trophy, and Lamar Hunt is the one who brought the Kansas City Chiefs into play in the old AFL. Now his son runs the team. This Kansas City Chiefs team is built.
And they're built for long distance too.
Well, and they're built in the AFC West. I mean, let's take a look at the competitors and tell me how close they are. Raiders, not even close.
No.
Chargers, they're still looking. They're
on the same level of the Raiders.
Broncos are not even 2-3 years away.
No.
So the Chiefs, for many years, they're going to remind a lot of folks of the Steelers. We're going to get to a point where we're going to hate the Chiefs because they're
Chiefs
always
are probably
there.
going to become your brand new Patriots of that team to hate, where, again, they are destined to continue this for a long time. Again, what you're seeing in the AFC as of right now is probably very similar of Patriots-Colts, of Tom Brady versus Peyton Manning. You're going to have it with Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes.
But, you go back into the day.
I think that's where it's going to be at, is where Patrick Mahomes is probably going to have the advantage every single time. But Josh Allen might get that Peyton Manning-esque luck of, okay, here you go, here's your one.
But you go back in the day, and we hated the Steelers, and you just hated Terry Bradshaw. And then, like you said, Tom Brady and the New England Patriots. Sick of them.
Hated the Niners, hated the Cowboys, all those dynasties.
Guess what? I can't hate on Patrick Mahomes. I like the guy. He is solid. He is a solid quarterback. He's smart, and he's a team player.
Same with Tom Brady.
Well, I understand that. But, again, you got the old guard and the heir apparent. So you got the greatest of all time, and you can't tell me that Patrick Mahomes, if he continues on this pace, will not overtake Tom Brady's numbers.
Yeah, to be determined. And again, this is going to be a telltale sign. I think in the Super Bowl, sizing it up, and again, not even looking at the lines or anything.
-3 Chiefs.
As I say, I could care less, but I'd probably take that of saying that Kansas City should win this game, should be back-to-back champs. But again, you cannot deny Tom Brady. But looking at the defense, and again, that just collapsed in the second half. Kansas City's that team where if you give them an inch, they're going to take it a mile.
We saw that last year with the 49ers.
Yeah, don't sleep on this team because when you do, they're going to make you pay for it big time. And a lot more than what Green Bay was attempting to do in that second half.
And Cleveland had their opportunity. Once they knocked Mahomes out, they had their chance, and they blew it. Totally.
It's Cleveland. What do you expect?
I know, but they.
I told you that Cleveland, again, the Cinderella story was ending against Kansas City.
I know, but when you get a chance, you got to take advantage of it, and they didn't do it. Anyway, the over-under, I like this.
I'd say about 60.
You're close, 57.
Yeah.
And I go with the over. I think these teams are going to put up a lot of points. If anything, Kansas City will put up.
I'd probably take the under on that one, especially where you look at
You
look at previous Super Bowls. It's been on that kind of low-scoring affair, and especially what happened last year between the Chiefs and the 49ers. So
I'll take the over on this one.
I think defense is going to be more impressive, at least for both teams, or at least more so for
Kansas City's defense comes out like they did against Buffalo, Brady's going to have a tough time.
Yeah.
All right, we got to wrap things up here on our side of town. Again, we will talk to you tomorrow about 5:15-ish from Sterling, Colorado, as we will be at NJC. It's double dipping with the Lady Plainsmen and the Plainsmen back to back. And that'll give me a chance to get off my voice here now and get ready for tomorrow's broadcast. I was wiped out after Saturday. But we will have that double dip for you. And then, of course, we'll be in Otero or at La Junta on Saturday. Yeah, for the Rattlers, Lady Rattlers and the Rattlers coming up. So we got, LCCC basketball ×2 tomorrow and on Saturday.
Looking at our upcoming schedule again, talk about how heavy we are with LCCC basketball for February, for March. Again, it's pretty much of don't anticipate a whole lot of high school, unfortunately, where, again, we're going to be focused on this heavy
we don't catch up with high school until like about
mid-February, and then